I tried to make this video like 2 weeks ago and I failed so miserably. What the frick? I was trying to make a video called How to Slack in Handball, and I don't know why. I think I just lost motivation for the video, so I'm going to try and film it again today. But basically, a slack in handball is where you got the ball, it's a really low shot, it's fast and powerful, and quite often, if the person can't hit it back, they get out. And it's really good to use in-game because it's quite easy to hit once you get it down, and there's many variations to it as well. There are 2 variations that in our handball games are legal, and then there's some that are illegal. The 2 legal ones that I'll be teaching today are the common slack, like this. Still got all those stupid gun nut things everywhere. Common slack, like that. You can hit it in most situations. The second one is more of a style slack, but it can be used to change the direction of the ball. And we call this slack Seb slack because Seb at school does it and he brought it to our school. But you might just call it a curve slack or something else, I don't know. A Seb slack looks like this. So without further ado, let's just teach you how to start with the common slack. So, common slack is really simple. Now, in most games, if you want to hit a really, really good slack, you'll have a teammate or just someone in another square to pass to you, and you always say low, so they hit it like that high. And once that comes in, you got to wait to the very last second. So you'll be standing up, and what'll happen is the ball will come down, and you're going to bend down low, and it'll bounce once, which is fine, but on the second, you're going to sweep your hand down and try and hit it like that so it travels across. And I'm going to show you a slow-mo right now of what it should look like, and you'll see the first bounce and then the second where I sweep my hand down. So here we have the first bounce, and then I sweep my hand down to hit it. And as you can see, I try and hit it as late as possible to get the lowest possible bounce. So with a slack, the main thing is you rarely can hit a good slack from standing unless your arm is like as long as center point tower. When you're preparing for the slack, try and get as much power into your hand as you can, but don't hit it upwards. If anything, hit it straight horizontally. If you can hit it horizontally, obviously it could fall, but the thing is, if you give it the tiniest diagonal curve, it won't fall and it should be good. And there's 2 ways that you can make sure it doesn't fall. What you can do is you can make sure it bounces straight away when you hit, so like that. Or if you can sort of see here, I'm aiming at the wall, you can give it a lot of distance before it bounces, but that also gives it a chance to go out. So I recommend just doing the straight away bounce, and that should work well. So I'll give you one last look in real time, and then we'll move on to the Seb slack. Alright, now we're doing the Seb slack, and the Seb slack, it can be kind of hard to hit. If a slack is coming at you with speed, I don't recommend hitting a Seb slack in return. I'd recommend hitting a common slack and just changing direction. But if you're ever in a square that's wedged in between 2 other squares, and someone hits it towards you, you could Seb slack to either go that way, straight forward, or even if you do a reverse, you can have it go that way. The Seb slack isn't really useful for high, powerful rallies. It's more useful for confusing your opponents. Now, what I mean by that is, if the ball's coming to me, I'm going to hit it off this wall behind you guys. If the ball's coming to me, and I want to either hit it that way or that way, obviously, I don't want to be hitting a common slack with my left hand because I'm right-handed, and I will most likely stuff up. But with a Seb slack, you can use your right hand and turn the ball, and that just keeps its momentum, and it just keeps going that way. And it's not classified as a grab shot unless you do it wrong. The way people can do it wrong is they go like this, and they grab it in their hand, and they turn it over. Then it's still a grab shot. what you got to do with the Seb Slack is you've got to keep your hand outstretched like this, and then when the ball comes down, you have your hand like that, so it sort of catches in your palm, and then you turn. It turns up, right, and then it's falling-ish, but not really falling. It's still connected to your palm, and then you can give that momentum from the fall to blast the power out to the side. To hit it to the left, right, and the ball is coming towards me this way, I can always go boom. And if I was to hit it to the right, I could use a Seb Slack and go boom, like that. I'll now show you a Seb Slack in slow-mo, so you can sort of get the hang of what it should look like at a slower speed, so you can learn it better. And there's also an illegal slack as well. Now, this is performed by a certain member in our handball group that just does it all the time. And even though we tell them to stop, they don't stop doing it, and it really, really annoys us. This type of slack is what I call a scoop. And the reason it's called a scoop is because it's a sort of variation of the common slack, but it makes it way easier and much harder to hit. So it's sort of like an exploit. And the scoop looks like this. Like that. It can even be classified as a grab shot sometimes. Now, scoops may not be illegal in your games of handball, but it's certainly illegal in ours. I noticed it is legal in some of the younger games because they haven't fully learned to slack yet. But once you start getting more experience with slacks, you'll learn that scoops are just so dog to use. And when someone scoops you and you call them out because it's an illegal slack, they're always like, no, what? That is not a scoop. So it's just one of the worst moves to do in handball, and if you do it, you'll be labelled as an idiot. And I'll give you one last look at a scoop before we end the video. It's like the power that you get from it, it's like so fast that you can hardly even see the ball. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.